cash flow issues. She can't afford to retire, can she? And see out her days in leisure. Is there still a chance that she could do a tell-all book, Fergie, My Story, and make millions? I think there's every chance because her children's books have been stripped from the shelves. They're due to be out. Another day, another crisis for the House of York. Just when King Charles thought the storm had passed, a new Fergie bombshell is reportedly on the way, and royal insiders are warning it could be deeply harmful for the monarchy. Sarah Ferguson's next move could change everything, and the palace, they're bracing for impact. Let's get into it. The scandal surrounding Sarah Ferguson and her ex-husband, the former Prince Andrew, shows no sign of slowing down. What started as quiet whispers has now exploded into a full-blown royal headache. Leaked emails have exposed both of them in shocking correspondence with Jeffrey Epstein. And then came the announcement that rocked Windsor. Andrew will no longer be known as a prince and is being forced out of royal lodge. Sarah Ferguson, the Duchess of York, has been dropped from several charities after a leaked email showed her apologizing to disgraced financier Jeffrey Epstein. Well, Sarah, the bombshell email was reportedly sent to Jeffrey Epstein in 2011 and shows Sarah Ferguson apologizing for linking him to pedophilia. Sarah's been told to pack up too. She's reportedly searching for a new place to live and has been firmly told she will not be joining Andrew on the Sandringham estate. After years of living under the same roof, it seems the royal fairy tale has well and truly crumbled. Here's where things take a dangerous turn. Royal expert Richard Fitzwilliams has warned that a new Fergie autobiography could be very harmful for the monarchy. He told GB News, if she ever did, it could be very harmful. Any book written by an insider is harmful, but the whole point of an autobiography is that you want to be believed, and I think there would be considerable problems believing anything she said other than provable facts. Along with Virginia's allegation of sex trafficking, Andrew Lowy, who has written the royals' unauthorized biography, claims to have laid bare other potential crimes, almost all driven by Andrew's hunger for cash. The message is clear. If Fergie publishes her own version of events, she could open the floodgates. A tell-all book could drag the palace back into chaos, just as King Charles tries to steady the crown. Fergie has never been afraid to tell her story. From her first autobiography to her novels, she's used her pen to shape her public image, but this time it's different. She's lost her home, her title, and her royal privileges, and she's doing it all while living under intense scrutiny. If she's truly ready to distance herself from the family, this could be her moment to finally speak without filters, without fear, and without the palace controlling the narrative. But can Fergie's word even be trusted? Let's not forget those emails. What's next for Sarah Ferguson and the girls? After the bombshell announcement that the king had stripped Andrew of his remaining titles and took the unprecedented step of deprincing him, many have asked what will happen to his girls. Back in 2011, Fergie called Jeffrey Epstein a steadfast, generous, and supreme friend. When that came out, her team claimed she only said it under threat. But now more correspondence has emerged, and it doesn't paint a flattering picture. Some reports even suggest Andrew lied about when he ended contact with Epstein, which reportedly pushed King Charles to finally strip him of all remaining titles. And now both Andrew and Sarah have lost nearly everything that once tied them to royal privilege. While the Yorks try to move on, a new threat is brewing. Some sources wonder if the storm brewing is what caused the drastic measures by King Charles and the firm statement issued last week. Is that it then for Fergie, do you think? Is that the last that we will see of her in public life at least? Well, no. I think never say never with Fergie. She's a great survivor. She will quietly do things under the radar. I mean, there are plenty of people, particularly in places like China and the Middle East, who are quite happy to associate with her still. Pro-Republic campaign group Republic says it's considering launching a private prosecution against Andrew for alleged misconduct and abuse of power. Their CEO, Graham Smith, didn't hold back. It's a devastating indictment that we must resort to private prosecution. Royals should be treated equally under the law. That statement hit home because, for many, Andrew and Sarah now represent everything the monarchy doesn't want to be associated with: scandal, money, and entitlement. Inside Buckingham Palace, the atmosphere is described as grim. King Charles has been under pressure to act fast, and the message to the Yorks is clear. Enough is enough. Sarah has quietly scrubbed her social media of her Duchess title, replacing it with messages about truth, courage, and reinvention. It's been a steady but sustained stream of charities who've removed Sarah Ferguson or publicly distanced themselves from her. There's now 6 in total. The Duchess of York was last publicly seen a week ago going to the funeral of the Duchess of Kent here with her ex-husband Prince Andrew. Royal aides believe she's preparing to reinvent herself. But the question is how, and if she's planning a tell-all, the palace could soon face its most unpredictable storm yet. So, what's next for Sarah Ferguson? Sources close to her say she's determined to rebuild her life on her own terms. She's reportedly exploring new business ventures, book deals, and even media appearances that would mark her full break from royal life. Some insiders claim she's already been in quiet talks with major publishers in both the UK and US. Others say she's considering a documentary, something raw and personal that would show the real Sarah Ferguson after decades of scandal. This would be explosive and severely damaging to the royal family. This week or next week. I think that was her latest money-making scheme, another set of children's books. Obviously, they're not going to come out now. So, I think she write another autobiography. The problem is she's done many of those. She's done many OPAs. There's nothing really we don't know about Fergie. She's pretty an open book. There's even speculation she may relocate abroad, possibly to Europe or the Middle East, where she's maintained private connections for years. And if that happens, it could signal the final chapter of her royal story. The one where she leaves Britain behind for good, free from the palace's control, but also from its protection. Either way, her next move could decide whether she's remembered as the royal rebel who rose again, or the woman who brought even more chaos to the monarchy. And what about Andrew? The man once called the Spare now finds himself without a title, without public duty, and soon without a home. It's understood he's been given weeks, not months, to vacate Royal Lodge. The property will return to the Crown Estate, and Andrew is expected to move into a smaller residence on the Sandringham grounds. But behind the scenes he's reportedly resisting. Insiders claim he's been stalling, insisting on renovation delays, and quietly negotiating for more time. And she describes him as a supreme friend to her. But a spokesperson for the Duchess of York claimed she only sent the note because Jeffrey Epstein was threatening to sue her for defamation. At least 6 charities have now cut ties with Sarah Ferguson, including one she has been a patron of. He knows that once he leaves Royal Lodge, the last piece of his royal identity is gone. And while he may be hiding behind closed doors, the world isn't done talking. Investigations could still deepen with more leaked emails, legal challenges, and new details about his finances likely to emerge. Some reports suggest he's become increasingly isolated, spending hours alone and avoiding family gatherings. Others say he's defiant, convinced he's been unfairly treated, and quietly plotting a personal comeback through private business ventures. But the reality is stark. The king's patience has run out. Andrew is living on borrowed royal time, and the countdown to his full eviction is well underway. It's becoming increasingly clear that even Fergie has finally had enough of Andrew. For years, she stood by him through scandal after scandal, insisting they were the happiest divorced couple in the world. But that loyalty seems to have evaporated. Reports now suggest she wants nothing to do with him, not emotionally, financially, or professionally. Friends say the separation is more than symbolic. It's strategic. She's tired of being dragged down by his disgrace. And palace insiders fear that if the right publishing or media deal lands on the table, she won't hesitate to distance herself completely, even if it means throwing Andrew under the bus to save her own reputation. And that's exactly what makes a potential tell-all so dangerous. A woman with nothing left to lose, and plenty of secrets to sell. If more revelations surface, and history tells us they usually do, it could finally end any hope of a return to public life for the former Duke of York. So, what do you think? Will Sarah Ferguson risk everything and tell her story? Or will the palace somehow pull her back into the fold before it's too late and protect their public image? Let me know in the comments below. And don't forget to like, subscribe, and turn on notifications so you don't miss the next update on the royal family.